Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Rowe. We're looking at geometry part B. This is lesson 7. We're going to look at the area of triangles, parallelograms, and trapezoids. So let's take a look at some examples here like you're going to see in the lesson. Let's start with this triangle right here. So you're asked to find the area of an equilateral triangle with sides of 8. So now, how do we do this? Well, in order to find the area of a triangle, the formula is 1/2 the base times the height. Well, we only have one thing. We have the base, which is 8. So we need to figure out this height right here. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use the fact that this is going to end up being a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if we break this right here at this altitude, the height, that forms a right triangle right here. And that right triangle will help us find the height. Now, since it's equilateral, that means each of the angles are 60. So that's 60. And then when we split it, that's going to make this angle 30. So I'm going to use the special right triangle ratios, 1 square root of 3, 2, to help me figure out what this distance is. So since this is an altitude of an equilateral triangle, it's actually going to split this base in half. So that means this side, I'm going to erase this so we don't see that in the way there. So that means each one of these is 4. So now using the special right triangle ratios, if the short side is 4, then this height, which is the long side, is going to be 4 times the square root of 3. So now I have my base, which is 8. I have my height, which is 4 square root of 3. Now I can find my area. So the area is going to be 1/2 times the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 4 times the square root of 3. And so all I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply 1/2 times 8 is 4, and then 4 times 4 is 16. So this will be 16 times the square root of 3 inches squared. So use your special right triangles on this one to figure out that height, which is going to be 4 times the square root of, or whatever this number is, times the square root of 3. And then fill into your formula. All right, so we also have one that says find the area of a square with sides of something. This example, we got sides of 8. So any parallelogram, whether it's a square, rectangle, or parallelogram, rhombus, all of them have the same formula. Area equals base times the height. Well, since this is a square, that means the base and the height are the same number. So this will be 8 times 8, which is 64, and then it's going to be feet squared. So that's the area of any square, rectangle, or parallelogram or rhombus. Base times the height, just multiply the numbers you're doing. Now you're also asked you're also asking one question to find one of the missing sides. So this is a similar example of that one. The base of the rectangle is 56. The area is 1,960. What is the height of the rectangle? Well, rectangle is a parallelogram. So we know that the base is 56. We're trying to figure out that height. We're going to use the formula, base times height. Substituting what you know. And then solve. So we're going to divide both sides by 56. Pull out your calculator. And we've got 1,960 divided by 56. So that means that x, which is the height, is 35 centimeters. So substitute what you know and then solve for what you don't know. All right, so our last shape is a trapezoid. So remember a trapezoid. We'll move this over. So a trapezoid is a shape like this. It has one set of parallel bases, and then it has a height which attaches the bases to each other. So there's the height right there. The formula to find the area of the trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. So we got base 1, base 2. So we're given all this information here. We're told that the height is 12, so we're going to substitute 1/2 times 12. And we're told that base 1 is 20, and that base 2 is 36. So now orders of operations, 20 plus 36 is 56. And so now I'm just going to pull out my calculator. 12 times 56. And then 1/2 means to divide by 2. And so that gives me 336 millimeters squared. So make sure you pay attention to the formula. You substitute in the right places. Make sure the bases are in parentheses. Add those together first. All right, so our last example. You're also given a series of problems, and you're asked to find the missing piece of information of a trapezoid. So again, that formula, 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. So we're just going to fill in what we know. Area is 464. The height, 16. We don't know B1, so that's our missing value. 26 is base 2. So now we're just going to follow some orders of operations and then do some basic simplifications here. So 464, half of 16 is 8. So I can go ahead and do that. Now you've got a choice here. You can distribute and then solve a two-step equation. What I like to do here is to divide first. I like to divide by 8. That just leaves me with a little subtraction to do at the end. So let's look at what I do here. So we got 464. We're going to divide by 8. That's going to give us 58. And then these are going to cancel, so that leaves me with x plus 26. And so now I'm just going to subtract 26 to get what base 1 is. And we got 58 minus 26. That gives me 32. So base 1 is 32 centimeters. So in all those problems, there's about, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Substitute what you know, use inverse operations to solve for what you don't know. And that's all you got to do on these. So I hope this helps you with this lesson. If you're still struggling with the content, and again, this is how you share your work also. Please let me know in a teacher message or make an appointment for a help session.